Well, finally, it's that time of year. It is the Penrite preview for the Bathurst 1000. I'm joined by two guys who know a thing or two about tasting victory at this place, Lee Holdsworth and David Reynolds. It's cold and we're in the garage. As you can see, it's so cold. Lee, I'll start with you, mate. 12 months on, or less, because it was December last year, wasn't it? You're back here at the mountain for the 1000 as the defending champion. How does it feel for you, and how big is this week?
It feels probably bigger than any other year, to be honest. Like when we rolled into town yesterday, always when I roll into Bathurst, I get these like chills up my spine, and you get the butterflies, you start getting nervous, and then you see the Mount Panorama sign up on the hill, and
if it's not raining too much.
If it's not raining, we could actually see it yesterday. And, obviously the memories from last year came flooding back, and very, very special. This place is an unbelievable place, but the atmosphere, you can feel it, it's electric even this time of the week, and there were fans up the top when we did the livery launch yesterday, and they were going berserk already. They're already hard on the cans.
Did you do the plaque, the winner's plaque today? Is that going to unveil today? Yeah, that's a cool moment, right?
That was cool, apart from the guy calling me Lee Hazelwood and saying it was the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst 1000 last year, so the mayor had his wires crossed a little bit.
Dave, for you to be back, mate, so you had a bit of fun for the livery launch up there on top of the mountain yesterday?
Yeah, learned a few new chants as well from the crowd, which was really good. That was always exciting.
Cook some snags?
Cook some snags, they were terrible, but it was really good. Good turnout. Anything we can do like that to give back to the fans, I reckon it's cool.
Since we last all met for our last episode, you've announced some pretty exciting personal news as well. A baby on the way, congratulations, and a new deal.
Thanks, mate.
What's more important?
Having a baby for sure.
Put him on the spot.
Having a baby for sure. There's nothing better than that. So I'm stoked. Just hope everything works out okay, and don't get too much grief at home.
Fantastic. And the new deal, on a serious note, that's great for the career. Obviously very happy here.
Yeah, very happy. Just hope we can bring back more speed that we had at the start of the year. I think that'd be great. Looking forward to the future. Matt Payne is in next year, so got a rookie to bring up to speed, and Matt Payne, he's a different character. He's got a lot to learn, but hopefully I can show him the way.
Who better to lead you in life than Dave Reynolds, really? This place and your form and history here is remarkable. You've tasted the highest highs. You've had some moments that were pretty tough, and that's racing.
Times. Had some shocking times.
To come back here and see the rain, how does that affect you?
You sort of take it year by year, but our cars have been pretty speedy in the wet, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's sort of, this year we've been a little bit off in the dry. But in the wet, we've kind of been on the money, so I'm really looking forward to it.
That was one of our fan questions for you, Lee, and it was from @TomJP10. How do you think the wet weather, number 10? Yeah, because he's a big fan of yours.
Yeah, good.
How do you think the wet weather will affect you guys?
It's hard to say at this stage. I mean, everyone is obviously in the same position. We're all going to have the same conditions at each time we're on the track. It makes this place is challenging at the best of times. But to throw in the wet weather around here it makes it pretty hairy. You have to, find some grippy race lines out there because they're completely different in the wet to what they are in the dry. So we go searching for them. It takes a long time to find that rhythm in the wet. So, and then our cars, like Dave said, I think our cars have been pretty speedy in the wet. So we feel like it might even give us a bit of an upper hand on what we'd usually see with our car speed. So. I'm just excited to get on track and find out what we've got to offer. But then if it's wet all week and then it's dry for the race, it's going to throw, the cat amongst the pigeons because there'll be cars that'll be speedy in the wet and not so great in the dry, and then vice versa. So we just want to make sure that we're good in all conditions.
I don't think that's going to be an issue. Judging by the forecast.
I think it's just going to be the one condition.
I think it's going to be wet all week. The flood warnings are out. Describe for me Bathurst in 3 words.
Fun, exciting, and dangerous.
Good. Oh, I like that.
You asked me second. Dangerous.
Fun and exciting.
Pinnacle.
Rewarding.
Can I say 2 more?
Yeah.
I go heartbreaking.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't say that right now.
Well, no, it has been though.
Oh, no, but not now.
Or like, I said Pinnacle. Yeah, Pinnacle and Heartbreaking.
Okay. Can you recap the beer story for us? When you made peace with the mountain.
Yeah.
It's deep and meaningful. It's cool. It's something I would expect you to do more, actually, possibly than lead. Do you know the story about the beer and he fed a beer to the mountain?
Did you?
Yeah, tell the story. Go on.
So,
I thought you would know.
Well, the mountain was pretty cruel to me for so many times, and I just kept getting kicked in the guts by the mountain gods, and I thought.
And they exist.
What am I?
They really exist. They really do exist.
They do exist, and it didn't want to see me win so many times in the first part of my career, and then I thought I got to make peace with this mountain. So I went up the top with my brother one year. I think the mountain had recovered from the year before. It probably recovered from its hangover from all the beer being spilt on it the year before. But so before the event, I came up and I dug a little hole up the top of the mountain. Poured a little bit of beer in and I cheersed the mountain. And since, it's been good to me.
So the question then is, what are you going to give the mountain to get some karma coming back your way again?
I know, all I did was draw a cock and balls on the skyline thing. That's all I did.
Edit time.
A couple of other quick fan questions. We're pushed for time. Everyone's got a busy schedule here this weekend. One for Dave from Zane.Merker, at Zane.Merker. What's the funniest memory you have of Bathurst?
Funniest memory for me is after the safety car, seeing two naked ladies flash themselves at me or at the field in 2017. That was pretty funny.
Good thing you kept your eyes on the road at all times.
And good thing I didn't radio in, because if I stuffed up, my team would have said, "You're not concentrating. You're looking around."
And
I've got a funny one.
Oh, go.
Right.
So we were talking about this today actually. In 2016, at the Bathurst 12 hour.
The best of all.
This wasn't funny for the guy riding the lawnmower, but the guy was riding a lawnmower down the hill, and he got to Forest Elbow with a little too much speed.
He ran out of
and
brakes.
it was a ride-on lawnmower, and he shunted the wall so hard, he broke his wrist. I think he went to hospital. Broke his arm. That was pretty
I saw him the next day. And
So
I said,
if anyone's thinking about driving a lawnmower down the hill, don't try it. It's been done.
I saw him the next day and I said, "Oh, what happened?" He goes, "Oh, I lost brakes at the top, and I was going all right until I had to take the dipper." And he made it halfway around and smacked the fence. I've actually got a photo of it. It's hilarious.
Things you see at Bathurst. And this one from @DeadSully for Dave. Is the Giz still dead to you?
He's still walking around somewhere, isn't he? Mate, I don't know. It's a long time ago.
It was a very
Depends
long
on
time.
how, he's matured a bit as an adult, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, of course.
You're laughing at the reaction.
Yeah.
Who wins if it's not you, boys? Take yourselves out of the equation. Who wins, just quickly?
Oh, mate, if it's dry, Chaz's car was super fast.
Yeah.
We've got the same rules.
Chaz and Lee's car.
Chaz and Lee's car, sorry, yes.
Thank you.
Same rules, same regulations. If it's the same race, their car was that fast. But
Yeah.
in the wet, I don't know. I think we've got a decent chance. The Tickford cars are really usually fast in the wet. Obviously, Triple Eight will be there. But in the wet, it's really anyone's game.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chaz and Fabian will be strong in the dry. Gizzy will be strong in the dry. And Tander, obviously. So, yeah, but then in the wet, it's anyone's game.
Boys, all the best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Morning, Dave Reynolds. He's got potentially the short straw because he's with Dave, but it is Matty Campbell. Matty, great to see you. Welcome back to Australia and to Mount Panorama.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back. The weather hasn't really turned on for me, unfortunately, but it's fantastic to be back in the pits and with Grove Racing again for the second year.
Tell us about the journey to get here, hot off the plane. It's been quite the rush.
Yeah, it certainly has been a hectic last sort of 24 hours. Finishing a race on the weekend, flying out of Atlanta on Monday morning and landing in Sydney on Wednesday. So it's been busy, been a bit hectic coming back, making travel possible, but we made it back in time and that's the main thing.
You arrive in fantastic form. You've wrapped up the title. Tell us, for people that don't get to see you race all that much, tell us about your year, starting with what you've just achieved.
Yeah, it's been a phenomenal year, I must say. It's the first year competing in the IMSA WeatherTech Championship. It's always been my dream to be able to go over there for a full season, only having done partial programs, but going over, joining FAF Motorsports and GDD Pro with my two teammates, Mathieu Jaminet and Felipe Nasser, and yeah, it's been a phenomenal year, starting off in Daytona, winning the 24-hour, and then continuing through the whole year, getting another 4 wins and I think 8 podiums in total, and being able to clinch the championship on the weekend. So been a phenomenal year, but yeah, super happy to come away for championship before big things next year.
To go from a sports car back to here, how hard is it now to jump back into a supercar?
I think it'll be made much harder now this weekend. I mean, the weather doesn't look ideal throughout the whole weekend, but yeah, I mean, I think it helps really a lot for me having experience in these cars already. Having competed in Enduro since 2016 on and off, and now coming back. For sure it's not easy all the time jumping in between the cars, but that step is made, for sure a lot smaller now having the experience.
Well, we know that this is the best track in the world, and you've just said it yourself. In terms of overseas and everyone that you're racing against there, what do they ask you about Bathurst? What do they know about the track?
It's mixed. I mean, all my, let's say, European friends and teammates, a fair few of them have been lucky enough to come to Bathurst and experience it. For sure it's up on their list, just after Nordschleife, but I'm a little bit biased with Bathurst being on top of mine. But yeah, they all absolutely love it. It's for sure one of the best circuits in the world, there's no question about that. Also coming from internationals, and also have many friends who haven't been able to experience the track before and are dying to get a chance to come over and do it because they've only heard good things. So they'll all be tuning in on the weekend watching the 1000 because it's a spectacle also for the Europeans for sure.
Do they all ask you, is it really as steep as they say it is?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's always hard to sell it, for sure, because the TV just doesn't do it justice. And once they come here for the first time, they really start to understand pretty quickly, on the track walk, just the elevation change and how different the track is to anywhere else in the world.
Dave Reynolds, I said at the top there, short straw. Of course, he's a Bathurst champion. We're not saying anything about his driving. He's one of the best, but he's a character. He's a lad. What have you learnt? What have your experiences been in the time you've had around him so far with the team?
Definitely a character, and I knew that from the past as well. But I must say, having been with the team last year already, even though I was in a different car, already started to get an understanding of Dave and how he worked, and also Al, his engineer. So I think that really helped going into this year. We already sort of knew how each other worked, although we hadn't been in the same car together. So I think that step also was made quite a lot smaller. Dave's an easygoing guy, so for me to be able to jump into this car crew in 26, it's made it a lot easier.
How do you think you'll go this year?
I mean, to be honest, with this weather condition, you never really know. I think it's anyone's race, but looking back at last year, wasn't the easiest of years, and now you see the progression that team has made this year. It's phenomenal to see the results we've had already, and I don't see why we can't be competitive this weekend, especially in such mixed conditions. So anything can happen, and it's an endurance race after all.
So looking to the future, we would love to see you here full time in supercars, but I'm guessing there's still a few things you'd like to tick off overseas before we'd ever see you back here?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, still really love to come back for the 1000 if there's no calendar conflicts or anything like that. So for sure every year still trying to make it possible. But yeah, going forward, busy year. Doing something very different next year, stepping into prototypes, joining Porsche Penske Motorsport, of course. Not too sure of which championship I'll be competing in yet, but for sure stepping up, and it's really exciting. It's been my dream to be able to get into top level of endurance racing with Porsche, and now they're joining that again. So it's a fantastic opportunity for myself and a big step up. And
you get to fly in the Penske private jets.
I mean, a little bit of a perk for sure. I mean, I've already been able to experience that so far, which is it's a nice little add-on, let's say, and helps to get around a bit quicker.
It must be a whole nother world. Does it blow your mind? Do you pinch yourself sometimes about what the future holds for you and what you've achieved already?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even last year when I started to find out that, it was going in this direction, I was going to be doing LMDH in 2023 with Porsche and Penske, two iconic brands. Just the dream combination more or less, and now to be able to finally do it and start to see things sort of unfold, with testing, the car coming along, visiting the Penske workshop and everything like that. It's pretty mind-blowing, and it's surreal to think that it's only about 3 months away before the start of the season.
Great to see you back here. We look forward to watching you this weekend with Dave. Enjoy it and make the most of it.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Time to take a slightly different perspective on the Cauchi with David Cauchi. Mate, team principal here. This is an enormous undertaking for you. We've spoken to the drivers, but from your point of view, first of all, you got to have a bit of fun up the top of the mountain, which I imagine in the past with your previous team, you probably wouldn't have engaged with fans like that before. What was it like up there cooking sausages, etc.?
No, mate, that was a really awesome experience. Getting up the top of the mountain with all the Penrite racing fans was fantastic. Everyone, there was flags flying everywhere. Everyone was so excited and cheering. So it was a really cool experience. The cars looked fantastic. Everyone loved it. So yeah, that was something that I've never really done before. So yeah, that was a good, really cool experience.
How do you keep sharp for 161 laps around this place? Because the pressure you're under, the decision making that you have to come up with at the drop of a hat sometimes, that's incredibly intense.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like staying sharp for 161 laps, when you sort of, those last 2 to 3 stints when you need to be your sharpest is when your body wants to go to sleep sort of thing. So my trick is chocolate. I eat a lot of chocolate.
Good. There's got to be a sponsor product. Come on,
something coming, exactly. But yeah, exactly. Keeping everyone sharp, keeping the pit crew motivated, getting everyone fed, making sure they're drinking, all those things are really important. But yeah, then I think the adrenaline kicks in for those last few stints, because at the end of the race, your body pretty much shuts down and says that's enough and let's not do this for another year.
And this is your world too. Like, we see the drivers and the heartbreak or the joy on their faces, but you've had the highs and the lows here. You know heartbreak at this mountain and success.
Absolutely. I think I've had everything go on here. So I've had run out of fuel, I've had wheels fall off.
I'm glad you mentioned those.
What else? Crossed the line first and then got a 15-second penalty. So look, the mountain this race is just unbelievable. Anything can happen. To win it, and I'm lucky enough to have experienced that as well, is a great feeling. It's the true team performance. 2 drivers, a crew that's done probably minimum of 7 stops, but probably more like 8 or 9 stops. So it's a massive day. We were here on Monday. Basically, we drove over on Monday, started setting up Tuesday. So it's a massive week. So to get a reward at the end of it, it's such a great feeling, and it brings the team together.
Are you responsible for this? Are you the one that's been doing the rain dance? Because the boys both saying, in terms of Dave and Lee, that the car actually they think performs better potentially in the wet.
Yeah, mate, we're pretty happy with the rain, actually. We wanted to continue because, look, we have had a fast car in the wet. So, and there's some reasons for that.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, it's got to do with, a bit of our engine performance, a bit of the way we set up the car. Yeah. So hopefully we can, carry that through if it stays wet throughout the whole weekend. We've got some pretty experienced drivers. We do have a rookie here, though.
Yes,
so, Matt Payne, first time here in a main series as a co-driver. So it's going to be a big, tough weekend for him, learning the circuit in these conditions. But our other guys, have plenty of experience. So look, it should play into our hands.
You're capable of winning this weekend, aren't you?
I think so. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, it's going to be if the conditions stay like this, as we've said, it's going to be a very crazy weekend and then a very crazy race. But look, anything can happen, and I can't wait to get out on circuit and see what we can do.
Cauchi, thank you very much for joining us.
Good to be here.
And all the very best of luck. This has been the Penrite preview for the big one, for the Bathurst 1000.